God has come through for Kenyans, specifically for William Samoei Ruto and for the Hustler Nation. So for that reason, we must congratulate William Samoei Ruto, congratulate the people of Kenya, and say kudos to the judiciary for such a landmark decision. The merits or demerits of this judgment can only be discussed at a later date, because although we watched from start to end, although we have read the judgment that is already posted on platforms, we need time to make informed decisions. So for time will come, and the time is going to come, when people will react intelligently to this judgment. Many people have questioned where I stand. Some have even questioned my feelings. Feelings don't come in. But before I make this video, I must make my stand clear. That I still stand with my position. That to me, this is bad law, is bad judgment. We shall delve into this in the coming days. For today, we must allow William Samoei Ruto and his followers to celebrate. We in fact will join them. It therefore is also natural that some will feel disappointed. Those on the Uhuru Raila side, we must also allow them to grieve. We give them our prayers and hope they will be able to bear this. In the same breath, we must congratulate Honorable Raila Odinga for accepting the defeat and for moving on. Indeed, this is the way to go. I have decided to make 3 videos in succession because I want to look at the implication of this judgment to the politics of 2022. In particular, I want to look at the bearing this is going to have on William Samoei Ruto, on Raila Amolo Odinga, on Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the outgoing president, and at a later stage, the impact it has on Kenya as a country, on the judiciary, on the role of the judiciary in political affairs. So today, let me look at William Samoei Ruto. I've said, congratulations. It's now clear, although it was always clear, but now is evidently more clear than before, that indeed you opposed BBI. So, kudos, Congole. But as you celebrate, and as others grieve, I want to ask all of us to let those who are celebrating celebrate. This is their day. Not to say bad things about those who have lost. They are still part of us. But the more important message to the politicians and the political leaders on either side of the divide is don't celebrate too much. And those who are grieving, don't grieve too much. There is work to be done. To William Samoei Ruto, remember, victory is like a child. And the child during birth comes with the bath waters. You must be careful where you pour the bath waters. Otherwise, the stench may come to haunt you. So you will be aware, William Samoei Ruto, that as you embark on the journey to 2022, amidst all these celebrations, you'll be aware that there are challenges that will come with this judgment. Spend as little time on the victory parades as is humanly possible. I know many people who come to see you, William Samoei Ruto, will be coming to tell you all manner of good things, and days on end you'll spend celebrating and talking about the judgment. I invite William Samoei Ruto to ask themselves, what if this judgment had gone the other way? I will invite you not to look at it as if it would have been a bad thing. let me tell you why victory may also be not the blessing you think it is. Naturally, whenever you win an election, you have to deal with discontented members of your team. You have to deal with people who exaggerate the contribution they made to your victory, to the campaign. You must deal with people who demand in compensation for their effort way beyond what they should be compensated for. That explains, William Samoei Ruto, why many people who lose elections have a problem, who win elections rather, have a problem winning the second election. You win in 2022 and the 2027 becomes an uphill task. That's why many MPs do not see parliament again. This is part of the explanation. There are many other reasons. Because you create people who are disillusioned. The expectations of people are too much. So this is a victory like any other. And therefore, one of the things you will have to deal with William Samoei Ruto are the expectations of people. Secondly, and this is more lethal, and pay attention to me, because like I've said many times, you are a good man. This victory that means BBI is dead, to some people cremated, others buried, it means you lose your narrative. A lot of what you have been saying, what we've been saying, is been aided by the narrative on BBI. Remember, you started with the Hustler Nation, the Hustler narrative. When it was shown to be dangerous to the country, you put that Hustler narrative into a capsule and called it bottom up, because we know it's the same thing. Now, when you talk of bottom up, you talk about empowering people, economic benefits, and you always juxtapose it with BBI. So now BBI has been pulled from you. So you must be careful as you celebrate. How are you going to celebrate when that gave your narrative strength is been removed? And you remember, and you know this, whenever you are having a kind of revolution, you are firing people, there must be an enemy. There must be somebody you identify or something you identify. For the hustler, you identify the dynasties as people who are responsible for the suffering of the people. That was shown to be dangerous. You moved the bottom up. And you are saying the only obstacle to bottom up is over concentration on BBI by Uhuru Kenyatta and his brother. Now you don't have that. So you have to recalibrate and re-engineer your campaign. But more important, William Samoei Ruto, is the fact that the death of BBI is an anticlimax in your camp. Remember the success of a revolution, because we must call you as a revolution, for want of a better name. And because we will call it a revolution, let's allow for that loose definition and meaning of revolution. Because I am convinced, and I've said it repeatedly, in a fair election, a democratic election, Raila Odinga will beat you. The state will beat you. Your only chance at the presidency is through a movement that fires people and gets to a point that is irresistible, that then drives you into victory. So I'm saying now, that revolution, like any other movement, has been punctured. The balloon has been busted. Why? Because a revolution and a movement without something to excite the masses is not a movement. So without BBI, there is little now to excite the masses. Without talking about nafasi za watu watano, nafasi za viongozi, the narrative, the conversation about leaders as opposed to about the people and the suffering. Without that excitement, that punching bag has been removed, and therefore the excitement is not there. So stop the celebrations, go back to the drawing board. Because, I can add, this movement, the continued existence of BBI, gave your members the excitement, something to look forward to tomorrow, something to fight, something to go against, and it was moving forward. I draw you to 2005, when Raila captured the imagination of Kenyans as he fought against the Wako draft in the referendum of 2005. From the time the referendum went down, Raila was unstoppable. ODM was born. It was a movement. So I am asking those who are looking at this victory from a narrow angle to open their eyes, because I like them, and begin to see that indeed this judgment may not be as good and as worth your celebration as you might think.